I'm going to share some of my experience of exporting car or the car markets in China. So as we can see, there are more and more businessmen or individuals. They are now importing car from China, especially those EVs. And actually this month, I have gone to Middle East, like Saudi Arabia, Dubai, and Egypt. I can see there are more and more people are driving EVs. But of course, compared to China or the cities I live in, the whole penetration percentage or rate is still much lower in those countries. For example, in China, especially in my city, there's almost like 30% of the people, or the drivers, actually driving the EVs. But in the Middle East, those EV drivers, mostly I think they are just using it as a toy or something special to try out. But here it's different. For example, now I'm driving a EV, this one. Also, the car in front of me is another EV. And so the whole EV thing here in China is so normal, so common, and there are so many options for people to choose. For example, when I went to Middle East, I only see BYD or Volkswagen and very, very few other Chinese brands. But here, you can have so many brands to choose. From American brand Tesla to China's BYD, for this one is NIO and Xpeng or Li. Just name it, there are at least 20 brands you can choose from, or there are some other new brands or those very old brands in China. What I seen in other countries are just BYD and Volkswagen, and frankly, and also no offense, I'm trying to be fair with all these brands. Frankly speaking, the Volkswagen like ID series in China is not very popular. And also, especially in the eyes of Chinese consumers, those Volkswagen EVs are not very good compared to, for example, this NIO. The whole finish, and of this car, or the technology or the features, is something the Volkswagen ID series cannot match. So, what I'm trying to say is, if you want to buy the EVs from China, you should explore more, because there are so many very good cars you can actually buy from. The reason is, first of all, many people buy BYD or Volkswagen ID series from China. Actually, there's no warranty. That means no matter what Chinese brand you buy from China, they are all the same, no warranty. It's just a matter of brand awareness, because BYD or Volkswagen, they are so well known in the market, especially outside China. But in China, for example, the one I'm driving now, NIO, they have been in the market for many years already. And there are like, sorry, for like Xpeng, it's also a very good car. My colleague has one of the Xpeng P7. It's very, very good performance car. And if somebody wants to buy like with a limited budget, they can also buy like the brands like Leap Motor and also some other China brands which has a very, very long history of building cars, but not very good at marketing or branding. For example, the Chinese like Hongqi or the Deep Blue, or the brand in what it's called, and let's forget about like Geely or Chang'an or Great Wall. There are so many other brands, frankly speaking, because there are so many brands I cannot even record the name, because they have the Chinese name, they also have English, which I'm not very familiar with the English name. But what I'm trying to say is there are so many good brands, so many good cars you can choose from. For example, another Chinese brand called Wuling, which is a budget car. For example, countries like Egypt, which their economy is not that good, but people still want good cars. This is a brand they can turn to, especially for people who does not want to use EV as something like a luxury or toy, but do want to use the EV as a daily commuting and for daily commuting between office and home, and want to save money. That is a brand you can look into. Very good car, and also it's how do I say? No matter you are an individual or a company want to explore more options, you should dig more, dig deeper. Not only BYD or Volkswagen. Frankly speaking, if you don't buy good EV from China, BYD is something good. Volkswagen is not something you should be assessed to. And of course, as more and more Chinese cars are going to other countries, there are more possibilities of having more Chinese brands going to our countries. Now the car market in China is like, the price here is dumping too quickly because the competition is another level. Especially when I went to Middle East, I feel that the people in those countries, they are paying too much money for very little quality stuff. All right, I mean, this is my first time of sharing experience of cars in China and in a very big or general picture. I hope that in the future, the more I deal with car suppliers car buyers from other countries, the more experience I have, I will post more videos and contents on YouTube. I hope that you can also enjoy. And also, finally, I want to come up with a very bold conclusion, which is in the next few years, you will see more and more Chinese cars come to you, no matter which country you are in. You will find that buying Chinese car can be a very good deal. Of course, you may still have the made in China thing is low quality, not good. But in terms of cost, I assure you that is something different, because the Japanese brand or Korea brand in China, they are being defeated by the Chinese brands. Because in the past, you want to buy something good, but good cars will only consider BBA in China, we call it, like Mercedes-Benz and BMW, Audi. But now things have changed. More and more people are buying Chinese car, not purely from a patriotic attitude or I love China, I love my country, I'm Chinese, I need to support Chinese car. No, it's purely from a quality aspect, more from a good car perspective. So if you want to try something good, especially for cars, the Chinese brand you should try. Or is something, if you want good stuff, definitely Chinese cars, you should try it. Okay, thank you very much. I hope that you enjoy my experience sharing. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.